So most of the people who will be joining are from which faculty? So I think you're on silent.
Sir, you're on mute,
The
sir.
faculties and research scholars from all parts of the country, ma'am.
Right,
No,
but
ma'am is
any
asking like
particular
subject, any
subject? Yeah.
Subject, ma'am, these are from every subject, different subjects. I
Achha.
think there is no particular subjects, commerce,
Okay.
every subject. Because
Okay.
this is a research methodology workshop, so
Right. Right.
everybody enrolled.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So I am
Hmm.
doing. So, a very good evening to one and all. I welcome you all on the second day of this 1 week virtual faculty development program come workshop on research methodology and AI integration, redefining academic research excellence. On behalf of KCECS Engineering College and Shri Tagore College, Kuchaman City, I, Dr. Ravikant Modi, General Secretary, Inspira Research Association, welcome you all and especially welcome to our renowned keynote speaker, renowned academician and researcher, Dr. Janki Mistry. To officially welcoming and inviting Dr. Janki, I would like to invite Dr. Aarti Chopra, our Joint Secretary, Inspira Research Association, to invite and welcome our today's resource person, Dr. Aarti.
A very good evening to all of you. Namaskar and warm good evening to each one of you once again. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm and a heartfelt welcome to all the participants, our esteemed dignitaries, and most importantly, our esteemed resource person on the behalf of organizing team. I, Dr. Aarti Chopra, Joint Organizing Convener, feel truly honored to be a part of this 1 week faculty development program come workshop on research methodology and AI integration, redefining academic research excellence, being held from 26th of May to 1st of June 2025. This transformative FDP is being organized by Inspira Research Association Jaipur in collaboration with Khandesh College Education Societies, College of Engineering and Management, Jalgaon, Maharashtra, and Sri Tagore College, Kuchaman City, Rajasthan. Today is the day 2 of this FDP. On day 1, we had the privilege to listen to Dr. Udit Mamodia and Dr. Sandeep Gupta, who focused on ethics, quality publications, and effective proposal writing. And today we are delighted to begin our journey with the scholar par excellence, Dr. Janki Mistry. Dr. Janki Mistry is the Faculty of Finance at Veer Narmat South Gujarat University, Surat. Dr. Mistry is a name which is synonymous to rigorous research, ethical scholarship, academic brilliance. Before welcoming ma'am, I would like to read ma'am's bio, and I am not sure whether I'll be able to read it completely or not because ma'am has so many accolades, so many achievements that the whole session is less to tell about ma'am's achievement, but I'll be throwing light on the key aspects of what ma'am has done in her career. So as I told you, ma'am is an associate professor at the Department of Business and Industrial Management, Veer Narmat South, Gujarat University, Surat. She has an MBA degree with a gold medal in finance and also PhD from the same university. Ma'am has completed 1 year postgraduate diploma in research methodology. Majority of her research publications are in the area of corporate restructuring, mergers and acquisitions, and also the stock markets. Ma'am has been teaching postgraduate courses in the field of business finance for 2006. Dr. Mistry has worked with Kotak Mahindra Bank before joining academics. So that means ma'am is a super blend of academia, industry, and research. Besides ma'am's core subjects, she conducts workshops in business communication, interview skills, FDPs in financial modeling like using R and Excel, mergers and acquisitions, valuation of companies, case method teachings and writing, etc. Ma'am has been invited at various faculty development programs to deliver her talks. She has also been invited at Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management. She has been the visiting faculty and a guest faculty at the University of Mumbai, Symbiosis Institute of Management, Pune, and many other universities across the country. Dr. Misri has guided more than five students, five scholars, PhD scholars under her supervision, and three more are currently pursuing PhD under her able guidance. We are so fortunate to have ma'am with us today. Ma'am, we welcome you with folded hands, and I'm sure that your skills related to research, and ma'am will be specifically talking about literature review and referencing techniques, traditional and AI assisted approaches today. So I'm sure that all the participants will get a lot of knowledge. They will gain a lot of insights from ma'am's session today. So we welcome you, ma'am, Dr. Janki Mistry.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Aarti ma'am, for such a generous introduction. I am just another researcher like all of you. The journey of research is so deep and so big that it never comes to an end. So one keeps on trying to do more and more. So see, all of us, most of us are faculties. Some of us may be research scholars, and all of us are constantly struggling with getting our work published in quality publications. And I also struggled I still struggle many times, but in the beginning, it is more difficult because it's a very different new kind of an approach. And in our traditional educational institutions, initially, now we are still better, but even today in schools and undergrad programs, we are hardly given any orientation of research. And that is the reason when we go into academics, we find it difficult to kind of attune ourselves with publications and research work, etc. So today my topic is about review of literature, the traditional method, and AI assisted. And with review of literature, I will also take you all through a little bit of reference management and citation that are available, so that it makes our life easy. So shall I be sharing?
Yes, ma'am, please.
I'll be sharing
Yes.
a presentation first, and I'll quickly take everyone through the presentation, and then I want to demonstrate certain things on the computer. So many of you who have a laptop handy can access, can basically try to do it hands-on. Then it will be easier for you to kind of understand and adapt. So you may join the meeting through another device or a phone and try to use your laptop for doing the hands-on things. As soon as I start the hands-on, I'll let you know. Okay. So let me share the screen. I hope you all can see the screen.
Yes, ma'am, we can see this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I want to ask a question. When do we start review of literature? In your research paper or your thesis? At what step will reviewing come? If anyone wants to answer. Normally, when you form your chapters, which chapter do you start? Which chapter do you put review of literature? Or which section do you put review of literature in a research paper?
You may unmute.
Ma'am, some of the participants have started typing on the chat.
Oh, okay. I'll just look at the chat.
Goldie Ji, yes. Goldie Ji said initial phase.
Yeah.
Shantanu sir said chapter 2.
Yeah.
And many others are writing chapter 2. And somebody is saying after
Yeah. So
deciding the
chapter 2
title.
definitely in your thesis would be chapter 2. And in the initial phase is also correct after formulating the title, right? So basically, once you have identified a research question, or rather, once you have vaguely identified a research topic, you need to start your review of literature. So it's one of the first and foremost steps to the research process. Okay, so um, it is not as if after you finish. So many people have this habit that first they will collect the data and then they'll finalize their analysis. And then in the end, review of literature is just written like an appendage. Okay, because we feel that review of literature is just going through some papers which are relevant to our study and then kind of taking one paragraph from all of those papers and putting them. So this is how majority of the people do review of literature, because it's a very boring process. Basically, to read all those papers and then take out extracts from them and then writing the review. I can understand that it's not a process which is very uh, interesting. On the other hand, collecting data and running it through some program like SPSS or your smart PLS, it's very, it seems as if you've done something great. Okay. So, but let me tell you that if you do not do your review of literature properly, you will not come to a substantive research question. Okay. So, unless you do your review of literature properly, you will not be able to do a research which is different from others. And then to be accepted to a good journal becomes challenging, because then they are looking for something novel in your paper which others have not done many times. Okay. So review of literature, if you want to make your research interesting, if you want to make it different or novel, then you should give enough time to reviewing the literature. First of all, there are two phases to review of literature. The first phase comes with identity. So you start, let us say you identified some vague topic that, okay, you want to research on, let us say FDI in India, okay, or say microfinance in India, or you want to research on what are the new market, anything, it could be your new anything. Once you identified some kind of a vague topic, you have to start reading about it. So then you identify various papers which are related to your topic. And you kind of do a synthesis of all the readings that you do. And finally, you will be able to identify research gaps, which will help you define your research question. Okay. I hope you are able to hear me properly, or
Yes, ma'am. Now
audible?
it is audible. In between,
Yeah.
for few seconds, the voice vanished, but now it is proper.
Yeah, I think there is a little bit of an issue with the internet. Give me just 2 minutes. I will just secure this connection. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, taking you through the presentation. One is what is reviewing literature. It has a twofold purpose. One is to justify the focus of your study. Why are you doing this study? What is the rationale? Now, that is the introductory part. That let us say I am studying something about foreign direct investment and its importance in the development of economic development of India, something like that. So first of all, what will I start with? I will start with conceptual review. That is, what is FDI? What is economic? What do we mean by economic development? What all has been done in these topics in India or in the world? I will start reading about that. And then I will say, why is this topic important today in the context of India or in the context of FDI or in the context of economic development? I will have to focus on all the three aspects. So this is like the introductory review of literature to justify the focus of your study, that why you are doing this study, what is the rationale behind it. Okay. And then the second part is to provide a rationale for your methodological approach, that why am I adopting this methodology to do my research. Okay, so then I will say that, okay, so and so has done research in this particular topic. He has used this methodological approach. This person has used this methodological approach. This study has used this methodological approach. And based on these several methodological approaches, I feel that for my study, this approach is the correct approach. So what is review of literature? See, most of us, if we are in social sciences, to come out and say that, oh, I have given a groundbreaking new theory which no one has thought of so far, is something which people or journals are not going to accept, right? So we need to validate our research with past research. We have to say that others have done something similar, and so what I am doing is I'm on the correct path. That is also important. That is also an important element of review of literature. So saying bringing in a completely new relationship which nobody has worked on will be very difficult for you to validate. Okay. So your review of literature is like saying that, listen, people before me have done this. I'm only bringing a new approach, a new facet, a new side to the story. And so my work is valid. That is the purpose of review of literature. So the two aspects. One is, why is my topic important, justified, and why is my methodological approach justified? Okay. So if there are 100 papers which have used regression to study some relationship, and you say that, no, I'm not going to use regression, then it could be valid, but or you are saying that I'm going to use something totally different. It will be very difficult for you to justify why you want to use a different approach, unless there is some strong theoretical grounding for it. Okay. Now, what is review of literature? It is basically a synthesis addressing inconsistencies or deficiencies in existing research. So what are you bringing in? You say that I have read all the existing or most of the existing research which is relevant to my study, and I have synthesized everything. Synthesized means kind of brought together, and from this I have found that these things are missing. Nobody has worked on this aspect. Nobody has brought in this point. Nobody has brought in this facet, and hence I want to do this. Okay. It sheds, or you can shed light on contradictions. That is, there would be, let us say, I'm studying the impact of FDI on economic development. under the broad hypothesis that high FDI leads to high economic growth. This is my hypothesis. But I might find 15 papers which say that yes, increase in FDI leads to increase in economic growth. But I might find 7 papers which say that there is no impact of FDI on economic growth. Okay, so this is a contradiction. Or I might find 10 papers which say that there is a negative impact of FDI on economy. Okay, so in this case, I have to bring in all these 3 kinds of literature and I have to work on the contradiction that, okay, during this period, there was no impact, or during this, but whether these papers say that there is no impact, but my data says that there is an impact. Okay, so you can shed light on contradictions. Okay, what you should avoid is a summary of individual studies. Like I told you in the beginning that, you identify 15 papers and you just take the abstract, or you just give a summary of all those 15, that this paper says this study says this study says this. No, you have to synthesize that, okay, how many studies from India? Normally, how do you do it? How many studies from India talk about positive impact of FDI on economic? How many studies from Europe or how many studies outside of India are saying the same thing, positive impact of FDI on economic growth? Then how many studies within India are saying no relationship between FDI and economic growth, or negative relationship between FDI and economic growth? Okay. How many studies saying that other factors impacting economic growth are more prominent as compared to FDI? And so you bring in different approaches to the topic. You just do not summarize everything. Or let us say you found 20 papers, do not just give a summary that this paper says this paper. These 5 papers say this. These 2 papers say this. These 3 studies say this. That is how you need to go about in your review journey. It should drive an idea-based argument for your study. Okay. It should lead to critical analysis. That is, it helps you explore strengths and weaknesses of the recent studies in the field. Okay, so it doesn't mean that all the previous studies are all very good. Okay, some of them may be lacking certain things, right? Your review can also bring out those things which are lacking, and then you say that because this is lacking in the past studies, I am going to work on these lacks or these gaps, right? What are the steps in writing? Very quickly, we'll go through this. We search for relevant literature. We evaluate the sources. So once we search for relevant literature, we have to make sure that the sources from which we are taking these papers are valid sources. They are credible sources. You identify the different themes, debates, and gaps. Themes, debates, what are the discussions or contradictory opinions? And gaps, you outline the structure and you write the review. Now, let us say the research question is, should a retail chain offer shopping via internet? Very simple question I have taken so that most of us can understand. Should a retail chain offer shopping via the internet? First, you identify the keywords like online shopping, internet, e-commerce, digital media, etc. Retail chain, sellers, marketers, marketing, digital marketing. And then let us say you want to, who are the people who shop more on the internet? If you start taking generation X or say baby boomers who are in their 50s or 60s, you are not going to find that many people doing online shopping. Okay, so who would you like to focus on? Maybe millennials, maybe generation Z, maybe generation Y, general consumers. So once you've identified the keywords, then you will enter these keywords in your research databases to get relevant studies, relevant papers, relevant articles, relevant blogs for your reading. So you start searching relevant sources like, let us say, your university's library catalog, Google Scholar, your JSTOR, your EBSCO. You have you have project New Pustka Humanities and Social Sciences. For life sciences, you have Medline, EconLit for economics, Inspec for physics, engineering, computer science. These are all these are all repositories which have papers. There are so many others. In India, we have InflipNet now. You have the whole Elsevier, papers where all Elsevier papers are available on the Elsevier database on your sources. So there are many, many sources from which you can extract your papers which you want to read. Extract papers or theses or reports or past studies. So Google will help you even find industry reports. And you start studying these relevant. Then you start reading the abstracts. If you're identified research papers, read the abstracts and see if the article is relevant. Go to the references and find other relevant papers. So once you've found one or two papers which are extremely relevant to your study, go to the reference section of that paper and find other papers in that reference section which would be relevant for your study, right? And you start taking note of recurring citations. Recurring citations means those citations which appear again and again in those different papers. So that means those citations, those papers are very important, or rather they are seminal studies which everyone should include if you're writing about that particular topic. How should the sources be? They should be credible, they should be landmark researches, they should be major theories. And in humanities, you might need a little bit of longer historical perspective. You should start the writing process as soon as you read. Keep on inserting citations for whatever you write. And it is helpful to make an annotated bibliography. Okay. So, I hope all of you understand what are citations. I will take you through a small presentation on citation management also, but citations are basically the name and the name of the author with the year in brackets that you find in most of the papers that you come across. That is citation. And at the end of your research, your thesis, or your paper, you will write your reference section in which whatever you have cited, you will put as bibliography or references. Okay. So other papers that from which you have taken, let us say I say something like there has been a 15% rise in internet shoppers in the last 3 years. This I cannot just say this on my own. I must have taken it from some source. So let us say I took it from the Times of India article in 2024. So I have to write that in bracket over there. Okay, that is called citation. And I keep on inserting citations as soon as I start writing. Then what do? I select and evaluate. So you will not be able to read everything on the topic, right? So select articles which are most relevant. And for each publication, you ask yourself, what question or problem is this particular author addressing? What are the key concepts and how are they defined? What are the key theories, models, and methods? Does the research use established frameworks or take an innovative approach? What are the results and conclusions of the study? How does the publication relate to other literature in the field? Does it confirm, add to, or challenge established knowledge? How does the publication contribute to your understanding of the topic? What are its key insights and arguments? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the research? So whenever when you are reading the research paper, these questions have to be in your mind. You cannot just read without a direction. First of all, you have to ensure that the source is good and credible. It is published in a good journal or by established researchers. Because every paper that you find online is not going to be a good paper also. Every article or blog or something that you find on Wikipedia or Investopedia might not be even correct or updated information. Okay. So once you have established that the source is good, then you have to see that whether the paper that you have selected as a part of your review, is it close to the problem that you are trying to address? Okay. Is it answering any key concepts? How are the key concepts defined in that particular paper? Which theory is it using? Which methodological approach is it using? All these things you should keep in mind. And you should always create an annotated bibliography. And now this is just the example of an annotated bibliography, the APA style. Okay. So let us say this is a paper written by Kenny A in 2010, a new history of Western philosophy in 4 parts, published by Oxford University Press. And this is the paper. Now, as I start writing my review, I have written what is written here is the brief about what this paper says. So what is it? Kenny presents a broad history of Western philosophy from ancient Greeks to the present. This is what the book is about. The book is divided into 4 periods, ancient, medieval, whatever. Each section begins with a chronological overview of the key thinkers, followed by chapters dedicated to. So this is what each part. And then Kenny generally provides thorough and fair assessment of the major philosophers. So this is called an annotated bibliography. That is, you bring out what are the main features of that particular research or paper or book. The second part is identifying themes, debates, and gaps. Okay, so you identify the trends and the patterns. Themes, which different questions recur in literature. Debates, conflicts, and contradictions. Where do the sources disagree? What are the pivotal publications? Are there any influential studies that change the direction of the field? Gaps. What is missing from the literature? Are there any weaknesses that need to be addressed? So these are, when you start reading the papers, you have to identify what are the different themes, what are the debates, what are the gaps. Okay, where does literature disagree? Right? If there are many papers, like for example, my research area, core research area is mergers and acquisitions. Now, it is very, very interesting because I have found that there are so many papers which come out saying that mergers and acquisitions do not lead to gains. In fact, companies which have done mergers and acquisitions have actually done poorly after the mergers. Okay. This is true for so many corporate restructuring activities like sell-offs or even for share repurchases. And there will be so many papers which say that, yes, mergers and acquisitions lead to gains, and there will be so many papers which say that they lead to losses. So when you find 10 papers which say they lead to gains, you have to identify that what was researched. Okay, was the profit researched? Were the share prices researched? Or was the revenues researched? Okay, what was the period of research? That is before, was it like 3 years after the merger, 2 years after the merger? Yeah, few days after the merger. What was the time period of research? What are the contradictions? In which country are contradictory studies more present? Okay, if the study is contradictory, let us say that if mergers and acquisitions did not lead to gains, what was the economic situation in the country at that time? Did that impact? Okay, so one is there, publications. I will find out who are the people who started researching about mergers and acquisitions. Who are the people who have given very groundbreaking theories on mergers and acquisitions. I will see how they have carried out their research or what were their approaches, and what is missing from the literature. So I found, okay, these many studies found that mergers and acquisitions lead to gains. These many studies found that they lead to losses. But suppose I have not found any studies which say that in those countries where economic development or economic growth was good, mergers acquisitions led to more gains versus those countries where economy was on a slowdown, mergers and acquisitions led to losses. In that case, that economic growth angle, if that is not explored by studies, I try to bring that in. So when I say what was the gap, okay, this gap, I didn't find any study which was focusing on mergers and acquisitions along with economic. That case, I can break it. Okay. So this is what identifying themes, debates, and gaps. Then you outline the review structure. That is, how are you going to write the review? So there are different ways to structure. One is chronological. This is the most common way, that we start from the old papers and we come to the new papers. So we arrange it according to time. So we say that in this year, let us say 1984, one of the first papers on mergers and acquisitions was written in India by so and so, when they brought in this. Then in the 90s, after the liberalization, privatization, and globalization, this happened. Then these were the policy changes. Then this was found. Then in 1995, this happened. In 1996, this paper came out. Then in the early 2000s, these were the type of studies that were done. In 2006 to 2010, when the economic growth was very fast, these were the type of studies. And then I come to the present year. Now it depends how far into the past you want to go. If you're writing a thesis, you can take a lot of papers, but when you're writing a research paper, you would want to not go back too much in the past. Okay, so you just refer to one or a few seminal studies. Seminal means the most earliest, or you can say most prominent studies on that topic, which happened in the past, which changed the way in which people started looking at that topic. And then you focus more on the nearer studies or more recent studies. Okay. That is chronological. That is, you arrange the review based on time. Okay, so you can also do a pre-post, that is pre-liberalization, post-liberalization, yeah, pre-COVID, post-COVID kind of a structure also you can give. Okay, if there is a pre-post situation in your study. Okay. The second way is a thematic structure. So if there are recurring central themes, organize it to subsections that address different aspects of the topic. Okay, so well, let us say that if I'm working on mergers and acquisitions, then I will one part. So there are different type of transactions. There would be different types of acquisition: horizontal, vertical, conglomerate. So I might want to, do my review based on these themes. So there are some papers which I worked on horizontal acquisition, some on vertical, and some on conglomerate. And maybe I will put my review of literature in that order. The next is methodological. That is, the sources are from different disciplines. What are the different methodological approaches that somebody has taken? Okay, so look at what results have emerged in qualitative and quantitative research, how the topic has been approached by empirical versus theoretical research, and you divide the literature based on sociological, historical, and cultural. So maybe if qualitative data and quantitative data are saying different things, okay, then you can organize your review of literature based on the different approaches or different disciplines, etc. Next is theoretical. That is the foundation for theoretical concepts. Use this to discuss theories, models, and definitions of key concepts. Right. You can also use a combination of various approaches. This is what usually people do. So you can combine the various approaches based on the length of your literature review, and you can use an overall thematic structure, but each theme is discussed chronologically. So this is what normally people do. Let us say if I've taken 3 themes: horizontal mergers, vertical mergers, and conglomerate mergers. In that case, I will start with horizontal mergers which happened earlier, and then I will come to the recent papers. Similarly, vertical mergers which happened earlier, and then I will come to recent papers. Or I can also say horizontal merger before 2000, the year 2000, and after the year 2000. And so I will arrange based on themes, and I will then take those each themes chronologically. Now, writing the review introduction should clearly establish the focus and the purpose of the literature. Okay, so your introduction part of the review. I'm not talking about the introduction of the first introduction that you write of your thesis or your paper. No, I'm talking about the review itself should have introduction, main body, and conclusion. Okay, so in the introduction, you should clearly establish what it is that this review has, or how is it that the review has approached the literature. Okay, so how are you approaching the whole literature review? So what is its focus? What is the purpose? Second is the main body, where you summarize and synthesize. So you give an overview of the main points of each source and combine them into a coherent whole. You analyze and interpret. Don't just paraphrase other researchers, add your own interpretations where possible, discussing the significance of findings in relation to the literature as a whole. Then you critically evaluate. So you mention the strengths and weaknesses of your sources, and you write in a well-structured paragraphs using transition words and topic sentences to draw connections, comparisons, and contrasts. So transition words are like however, moreover, alternatively, those kind of words that you use to bring about either connections or, like if you say additionally, that means that this paper is similar to the last paper. If you say in contrast, then it means that it is different. So you have to use this transition words to connect the different ideas that you are bringing into your literature. And then you talk about the gaps and you summarize the text. Okay. What is the difference between a dissertation review and a standalone paper in introduction? So in a dissertation, that is maybe a thesis, you reiterate your central problem or research question, give a brief summary of the scholarly context, emphasize the timeliness of the topic, and highlight a gap in the literature. But in a research paper, some background on the topic and its importance is required. You discuss the scope of the literature you will review, that is time period of your sources. You state your objective and what new insight will you draw from the literature. That is what you should think about. Based on the last slide, that is the main body of the review of literature. Let me take you to a paper and show you what I mean. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Now, so this is, can you see the screen? Okay, I will share this presentation for someone who was asking, ma'am, can you please show the previous page book review? I will share this presentation with the organizer, so you can take the presentation. Okay, now this is a This is a thesis. Okay. The topic is something related to student engagement, satisfaction, and academic success. This is a dissertation. And the second chapter is review of literature. So you see, in review of literature, there are so many parts. Can you see? Introduction. Then what is they talking about? International students. Types of institutions. The critical mass. What are the academic majors that students are taking? Okay, this is about students. Second is, what is student engagement? In that, how many theories are there? So there is one theory which says student involvement theory. Then student engagement of American students, student engagement of international students. Then the NSSC benchmark of effective educational practice. So this is, can you see how many portions are there in the review of literature? Normally, how do we write the review of literature? We just write chapter 2 review of literature and that's it. That is not how it should be approached. Okay, so in a dissertation, the review of literature has to be broken down properly, thematically, chronologically. Okay, and the contrasts have to be brought out, the gaps have to be brought out, and conceptually also you have to bring out the like let us say you are talking about your thesis is about student engagement. Yeah, anything. You have to define the concepts also. Those definitions also have to be brought out through review of literature. Okay, so let us say if you have used some books to define your concepts, you have to bring in those sources. Okay, so if I now want to go to review of literature, which is page number. So can you see from page number 19 to page number 48, okay, close to 30 pages of review has been written. So you might also be reviewing a lot of papers, but you need to properly break it down. You need to organize it properly in your research. Okay, so I want to go to page number 19. So this is how review of literature starts. Introduction. Chapter 2 presents a review of relevant literature focusing on student engagement in effective educational practices, etc. Then this second paragraph reads, the literature is organized around independent and dependent variables. First, the relevant literature describing international students is briefly summarized. Second, literature focusing on environment 1, that is institutional critical mass, is reviewed. Third, literature relating to environment 2. Fourth, literature covering output, and fifth, and finally NSS. So you see how it is organized theme-wise, right? Or concepts-wise. So this is how one should think about writing the review. Now this is for a dissertation. Okay, but what if you're writing a paper? The review cannot be 30 pages long. You have to finish it in 2 paragraphs at the most, or 3 paragraphs at the most. So in that case, you have to bring out those reviews. You have to bring out literature which is extremely focused and extremely relevant to your research question. Okay. So let me show you one paper. Okay, can you see? Yes, okay. So if you see, introduction is written, and many times the introduction goes on to the review of literature. There is no separate section of review of literature in papers. Okay, many times in good journals, they don't expect you to give a separate section on review. But if you look at the introduction, it will start with as institute, I'm taking the same topic so that you understand that, in the same topic, this is a paper about student engagement. That was a thesis about student engagement. So you first of all see the size of the literature. From here, if you see the problem, and your literature review is finished in these 2 pages. Okay. And so now what do you start in? You have to give the introduction also of the topic, and then that kind of continues into all the literature that you have written. Okay, so how did you come to the point where you decided to research this topic is your introduction and review of literature. So if you see how they start, as institutions seek to foster student learning and support students striving to accomplish their educational goals, they are turning more and more of their attention to NSSC as an instrument to capture the impact of the institution on students and their educational activities, so and so. The popularity of this is, now you see, can you see a citation here? 2005 over here. Okay, so the citation start here only, means this is your, even your introduction, you have to use papers to bring in your topic itself, to introduce your topic itself. Okay, so this is how. So how did it start? How did the NSSC? So here NSSC is a research instrument. It is a questionnaire. Okay, how did NSSC gain popularity? In which country it was earlier used? Okay, how was it framed? Okay, so this is about it. And then why is it an instrument which is very good, or why is it a valid instrument to use? Because this study has used the NSSC instrument to find the construct validity of student engagement. So they are basically, the study is about validating that instrument. So they are talking about why this instrument. And so this is how the review of literature goes on in a research paper. Okay, to show you one more is here. Okay, so can you see this document? Now, this is a paper written by me only on a similar topic. It is published in a Scopus Index journal, and it is called the Construct Validity of Student Engagement in Selected Indian Business Schools, a confirmatory factor analysis. So in this, what I have done is I've tried to develop a scale based on the NSSC. I have tried to develop an India Management Students Engagement Scale. Okay, so that is what I have tried to do. And so if you see the structure of my paper, it is also similar to that. That is, the first part is introduction, where I'm trying to justify why I have selected the topic and why do we need in India a scale similar to the NSSC, so that we can understand whether student engagement is first of all happening, and if student engagement is happening, is it improving their performance or not? Okay, and so here the relevant literature is taken. based on NSSC. The scale is based on NSSC, and then I bring in the Indian scenario and the rationale for the study. That why is this study needed in India? So why? Because India today is struggling with the falling standards in higher education. Even though India's higher education system is the third largest in the world, there is a tremendous increase in the number of institutions and in university. Only 3 Indian universities have been included in the world university ranking. Okay, so these are the reasons why I want to study whether student engagement can help India in any way or not. Okay, and so the introduction brings in a lot of literature and then justification for the study that why this research question is relevant, that brings in a lot of literature. Okay, so see, I am just going to highlight this paragraph, okay, which says there have been many studies that corroborate that student engagement is an important element in student performance and enhancement of their overall educational experience. Several studies support the engagement principles as credible and well-founded predictors of academic achievement, student success, and involvement. So I am saying that there are many studies which say that student engagement is important for student performance. Which are those studies? Who et al. In 97 and who study in 2007 also. Liu and Elves in 2019. Precott and Gaynor in 2019. Su et al. In 2019. All of these are saying that support several engagement principles are credible and well-founded predictors of academic achievement. Now, come to the however transition word used. However, many of the items and subcomponents measuring them remain challenging. So, La NASA has said that no, but all the items that are there in the NSSC scale or in the engagement scale, they are not adding any support to the fact that this helps student engagement or student performance. Okay. Given the broad-based use of NSSC, it is imperative to know whether it can predict important educational outcomes, especially for Indian students. So, because there are contradictory studies, I will say I don't know whether this instrument can totally be adapted for Indian students or whether I will have to make some changes or tweak the instrument in a way which can be helpful to measure the engagement of Indian students. So this is what the gap which has been brought out from the study. Okay. So is it giving you some clarity on what I'm trying to tell you, that how the review of literature should be written? It should not be like line by line you are taking. Let us say you brought out 5 papers which say something. You summarize the findings of those 5 papers in a paragraph and then you. Right. Now, and we were going through the difference between a dissertation review, and so I think I've demonstrated it. Now I want to take you to some tools, that because I had promised that I will take you to some tools. We have limited time, so now 1 hour of discussion. I'm going to talk about the AI tools or other tools that you can use to make your review of literature simple. So first, I'm sure you've heard of. I'm sure you've heard of the reference management tools such as Mendeley and Zotero. How many of you have heard of Mendeley or Zotero, or how many of you have used Mendeley or Zotero? Yes, so Zotero. Some people know of Zotero. Okay, there are some questions that you need more clarification for gap analysis, etc. Shall we take the questions at the end, if that is okay, Shweta ma'am and Colonel Shantanu?
Yes, ma'am. We will take the questions at the end.
Yeah. Okay. So many of you might have used some or the other reference or citation management tool to put the, like you saw in the brackets, how we have put the name of the author and the year. So we need to use, so every journal has a different way of asking for citations or reference, right? And so it is better that we automate the process of citation. It is better that we spend more time on reading the relevant stuff rather than spending time on making citations and making references, etc. So let's automate the citation. Okay, so what are citations basically? It is a way of letting the readers know that the source for a particular material came from another source. So when you do the review of literature, you will have to cite sources and you will have to, in the end, put them in your reference section. I hope you understood the transition why we are going from review of literature to citation. So now I'm going to take you through the process of how to make the citations easy. Okay. So in a way, you acknowledge and give due credit to the author whose work you have cited in your book. Okay, so usually for social science papers, you use APA 6th or 7th edition or MLA for Modern Language Association, or we use it for humanities. Sometimes Chicago or Turabian style is also used. Okay, so citations are in text when one refers to quotes or paraphrases from another source. So APA in-text citation style uses the author's last name and the year of publication, like this. Okay, for direct quotations, you include the page number as well. So let us say if I want to use a direct quotation from a newspaper or something, or from a book, or something in inverted commas, that is a direct quotation. Okay, so anyways. Reference or bibliography, reference list is the detailed list of references that are cited in your work. Okay. Only what you have cited, you will put in references. Now, how is a bibliography different from the references? A bibliography is a detailed list of references cited in your work, plus the background readings or other material that you may have read but not actually cited. Okay. So it is put at the end of the thesis, paper, essay, etc. Normally, while you're writing a research paper, you only put the reference list. If you're writing your thesis, you should put a bibliography, that is all the works that you have cited, plus the works that you have referred to. Okay, but not cited specifically in your paper. Okay, now, in MS Word also you can do referencing, but those of you who I wouldn't recommend that you keep on using MS Word. See, in MS Word, if I take you there is a way to do citation in Word also. Okay, so this is your main screen. If you go to the ribbon, those of you who can take your laptop now, okay, take the laptop and you can open your Word document. Okay, in the ribbon, the fourth tab is that of references. Now, if you click on that tab of references, this source manager, and then you click on manage sources. Okay, I'll see if a Word document is open. Okay, in manage sources, you can create a source. So suppose so if when you open your Word document, okay, can you see the document? Now in this ribbon, the main ribbon, I will click on references. I click on references, it will open this whole section, okay, where I can say manage sources. I click on manage sources. Here I can select the style also. So Word will give me access to a few style like APA, Chicago, Harvard, IEEE, and so on. Okay, but I am only going to select APA. So you can see here there is insert citation, there is manage sources, there is style, and there is bibliography. Okay, so when you click on manage sources, these these are the sources which I have already added. Okay, but if you want to add a new source, I will say new, and this section will open. I hope you are all following. Now let us say that this new source is a journal article, or let us say it is a book. Okay, and I will say the name of the author is whoever, I.M. Pandey. The title is Financial Management. The year in which it was published, let us say 2009. The city is Ahmedabad. The publisher is. I'm just putting random stuff. Okay, this is not necessarily true. So I'll say Jaiko. Okay, and if I can also add more bibliography fields by clicking on show all bibliography field. I can write the name of the editor, I can write the volume, I can say number of volumes if there are 4 volumes, etc. I can say on which pages I have, or the ISBN number I can put, that is the standard number, which pages I am talking about. So let us say page 23 to 24. Okay. I can also put, if it is an online source, I can put URL, I can put DOI, whatever. And I will say okay. So now can you see in my master list, this I.M. Pandey has been added. Okay. Now from my master list, I can take this to my current list. Okay. So let us say I am writing some paper and I want these in my current list. I want this 4 things in my, or 3 things in my current list, and I will close this. Okay. Now I start writing something that mergers and acquisitions in India took off after liberalization. Okay, something like that I want to write. Now, this is not my own sentence. This is, I've taken it from some paper. So now what I here, let us say, from where did I find this? Okay, from I.M. Pandey. Directly the citation will come here. Okay. Got it? Now I write a whole paragraph about liberalization and whatever, or mergers and acquisitions. There are 3 different types of M&As and so on and so forth. And again, I want to cite something. I will say, I will put the citation, and I've written some paragraph. And at the end of my paper, so I have kept on writing. At the end of my paper, I want to put the reference list. I will click on bibliography. And I will write here, insert, I'll click on insert bibliography. Can you see the bibliography will come? Whatever I have put in my current list will come. If I don't put anything in my current list, let us say manage sources में से ये मैंने निकाल दिया. Suppose I remove this. Okay. I take it back. from my current list. Okay, anyways, whatever I put in my current list will be printed here. Suppose I don't make a current list. In that case, only the works that I have cited will be published. Okay. So this is very simply the Word, MS Word, but the problem here is you have to put in everything manually. You have to put in everything manually. Okay. Now on the now moving forward, you have to whichever papers or anything that you're referring, you have to put in manually. But what if I told you that suppose you have accessed some papers from the internet or from some online sources, and directly you have a software which can catch those sources and you don't need to put in anything manually, your work will become much more easy. Okay, so for that we have Zotero. Okay, so I'm going to take you a little bit through the presentation on Zotero. So what is Zotero? It is a open source research tool which can help you in collecting and organizing resources, journal articles, book, web sources, etc. And it is cloud based, so you can access it from anywhere in the world once you log in. Okay. So basically, I'm going to share this presentation with you also, but those of you who want to try this out just now, you can download Zoteros for Windows. Zotero 7 is the latest version. Once you download Zotero, you also install the Zotero Chrome connector if you are using the Chrome browser. If you are using any other browser, there are connectors for all the browsers. Okay, so there is a connector for your Safari also if you are using the Mac. The other browsers also if you are using like Edge or something like that, for that also the connectors are. Okay, so I would urge all of you to download Zotero and you install the Chrome connector. Okay, so yeah, we have time. Do you want to try this just now, or do you think you will do it on your own? Okay, so go on to www.zotero.org, download. Okay, so if you go to the website, you will find this screen. You click on download 64-bit, download for Windows. If you are using the Windows operating system, if you are using something else, then you will have to download for. But mostly it is, I'm sure most of you are using Windows. So download it. And once you have downloaded, go to Chrome, your browser or any of the browser, and click on install the Chrome install connector. Okay, so you can take 2 minutes to download this, 2 to 5 minutes. So if you go to the browser, like suppose here I just write Zotero.org. It will immediately take me to download. Once I click on download, it will give me this screen. Now if I click download 64-bit, but if you are using other versions, Okay, like if you're using the Mac operating system, then you download for Mac. Okay, if you're using Linux, then you download it. I would suggest that if you're using Windows, then download the 64-bit installer, this one. And if you're using the Chrome browser, after you install Zotero 7 for Windows, you install the Chrome connector. If you're using any other browser, then you can go down. You will get Zotero for Firefox, for Edge, or for Safari also. So whichever browser you are using, you download this, and once you download the exe file, you run it. Okay. And once you run the exe file, you will get a Zotero Z in your on your desktop. Okay. Once you downloaded the app, you will find something like this. Can you see the symbol of Z? You will find this in your applications on your laptop. Okay, so I'm giving you 2-3 minutes to do this. Right. Now, once you have done this, can you hear me? Yeah. So once you have done this, you should also, on the main Zotero page, you should go into login. Okay, because I already have an account here. It is taking my username, but you should all register for a free account. Click on register for a free account. Once you click on register for a free account, you should select your username, your email, your password, and you should register. Now, once you have registered, you will be able to log in to your Zotero account. So I'm already logged in. So if I see, I will have something called a web library in my login page. We will go to that a bit later. Before that, I now want to show you what you can do using Zotero. Okay, so now once you have downloaded Zotero in your Word document, you will be able to see in your main ribbon, you will be able to see Zotero. Okay. So when you click on Zotero, you will have add citation, add bibliography, document preferences, refresh and unlink citations. Okay, so this is what happens in your Word. Okay, because you downloaded Zotero for Word. Okay, those of you, yeah, I hope. Okay. Now, those of you who have also downloaded Zotero for your browser, okay, when you go onto your new tab, you will see this Z sign here. If you have successfully downloaded Zotero for your browser, you will see a Z sign here. Are you all with me? Okay. Now let us say that I want to find some topic. I'm doing my review of literature on, as we discussed earlier, impact of FDI on economic growth. Okay. Either I can click here or I can also go to Google Scholar. Let's do that. Google Scholar will give us more definitive papers on. So if you see here on Google Scholar, you will see this tab, this document tab. Can you see? If you have installed Zotero for Chrome, you will be able to see this in your ribbon. It could be anywhere, okay, on this part. So now I will write here impact of FDI on GDP growth in India. Okay, so many papers I will get from here. Okay. Now go to your applications tab or your start tab and also open Zotero. Zotero that you have downloaded, you have to open Zotero. Okay, so you will get this kind of an interface. Okay, now in my case, you can see a lot of things because I already have a lot of stuff stored in my Zotero. But your Zotero would probably be empty. But you will see 3 sections. Okay, so what are these 3 sections? These 3 sections are your libraries panel, which contains the folders of all your research topics. So let us say you are researching on GST or mind or whatever your presentations or your publications, any of you can just give it any name. Okay. This is your resource panel. That is whatever you have stored in any of these folders will appear here. And this is your metadata. Okay, so let me show you in real Zotero what this means. Okay, so let us say that currently I am working on I'm working on certain paper. I have named it. Now I want to start a new paper. I will click on this small tab here, which will create a new collection. Okay. So I'll say, okay, I want to start a new collection on FDI because I'm writing a paper on FDI. I'll say, okay. And a new collection of FDI is made. Can you see her here? Now, once I click on this, I will get this blank and this also blank. Okay, now I want to start researching on FDI. I want to start my collection, building my collection. Okay, so what will I do? I have on Google Scholar, I have taken this, and now I will start seeing, okay, which are the most relevant paper, impact of FDI on GDP. I think this comparative study of China and India, this seems like a relevant paper. Okay, so what will I do? And now there are two ways. One is I click on this paper, and what I will get is a PDF. Okay, now when this appears as a PDF, it is difficult to save on Zotero. So if I click here, no, it will not give me any, it will not save my paper. Okay. So what I need to do is in Google Scholar, you can see this symbol of site. Okay, so you just click on site. Okay, and once you click on site, this window will open. Here you click on RefMan, that is reference manager, because your Zotero is a reference manager. So can you see over here? Saving to FDI, it is coming. Can you see? Okay. Now it has saved to FDI. So let me open the Zotero interface. Can you see in FDI, this paper has been saved automatically. Okay. So this is my resources panel and this is my metadata. Automatically, it has captured that it is a journal article. This is the title. These are the authors. This is the publication. That is the journal name. This is the volume. This is the issue. This is the page. This is the year. Everything, ISSN number, everything it has captured. Can you see? Now, suppose I want to cite it. And I want to, let us say, continue writing FDI in the last few years, Chinese economy has grown tremendously because of FDI inflow. Okay, where did I get this from? Now I have clicking on Zotero in my Word. I will say add citation. It will tell me which way I want to cite. I will say, okay, APA 7th edition. Here I should click on automatically update citations. I'll say okay. And now again, it will take me to which paper I want to, which collection. Okay, FDI collection, which paper. And I will say, okay, my site comes automatic. Can you see? Now at the end, I will keep on writing whatever I want to cite, I will cite. At the end, I want to add reference section. I will just say add bibliography and it will give me my reference in the APA style. Can you see this? This is what Zotero has given me. Okay. So this is how Zotero makes your life very easy. Now I also told you to create your account in Zotero. Okay, so once you create your account, you will have a web library. Okay, so when you have your web library, what does it mean? That whatever you have on your desktop or your laptop will be stored in your web library. So now suppose I am in US or I am anywhere else in the world. I don't have my laptop, but I want to from another laptop or from some other place, I want to access my Zotero folders. I can access it from anywhere in the world. Even if you lose your laptop, your resources are safely stored in the cloud. Okay, so that is the good thing about Zotero. So see, we just created the FDI folder. It is already there in my web library. If I open it, that one paper that we have saved is already over here. Is it okay? Now, there are many features of Zotero. Besides, this is the most basic, way I have shown you how to use Zotero. Let us say that okay. Yeah. So if I want to now save any paper, I can save like that. I can save this. I can. I just click on site and I will be able to save it in my Zotero folder. Okay. Now let us say there is a book which is there online, which see there is a book you are referring to, which you have online also, which is available online also, and which is available with you offline also. Now let us say you are reading through that book, but you want to cite it. So in Zotero, any physical citation, you have to add like this. You will say new item, whatever it is. Let us say it is a book or a book section, or it is a case or a conference paper or a data set, whatever it is, you can, just like you can do in Word, you can manually also add entries. Okay. But let us say that I found something interesting like a blog online, not on Google Scholar, but let us say some newspaper article. India. So I'm not searching on Google Scholar. I want to take this in from Business Today. Okay, so I open Business Today page and I will, because I have the Zotero connector, I will click on this. This will also be stored in my Zotero resources automatically. I don't need to do anything. I just need to click here. Okay. Now I will click here. Can you see? It is a web page. If there is an author and it is not capturing the author, if there is an author called Surbhi, okay, but it is not capturing your author. So in that case, you go into Zotero and here you can write the name of the author on your own. Okay. Now also the date is not being captured. So in that case, you can say May 26, 2025. So because this captures month, date, data. So I will put May first, May 26, 2025. Okay, now everything is there. Now I want to cite this in my document. Okay. However, India's FDI has been falling in the recent years. Okay. So, and then I want to add a citation. I say, okay. Now here, because there is no last name, it is just capturing the year. If there is a last name, it will capture the last name and the year. Okay. And now once, if I refresh, and as soon as I cite, even without refreshing, can you see this citation has also been added in my reference, the second citation. Okay, so this is the good thing about Zotero. Now, I want to spend a few minutes on another tool called, which will be very useful to you in writing your review of literature. Okay. However, it is a paid tool. It is an AI tool. but I will introduce you to it. There are some free features also, and there are some paid features also. So this tool is called SciSpace. SciSpace.com. Okay. Because I have already bought the paid version. Okay. Now here what it helps you to do, you can see here it helps you to create a review of literature. So suppose your research question is defined, or let us say even if you don't know, like give me, you can tell it, give me some innovative, or let us say contemporary topics in research on FDI and economic growth in India. So it will first try to give me some proper research questions. Can you see what are the key contemporary topics in research on FDI in India and its impact on economic growth? Or how does FDI influence the economic development in India, and what are the major challenges and opportunities associated with it? What role do institutional factors play? So you see, if you even have a vague idea about your topic or what you want to research on, and you just put it in this SciSpace, it will improvise your question. Okay, and it will help you to work on that topic more effectively. Okay, so let us say I select the second question and I tell SciSpace to give me, there are 3 types of reviews that it can give me. I just click on this and see what it does. It takes the 5 top papers. 5 top papers means papers which are highly cited on this topic. And what has it given me? With the citation, it has given me a kind of a short review of literature from 5 pages. Because I have clicked on standard review. Okay. Now, how many papers it has taken? 5 papers. Now, suppose I say I want a high quality review. It will take from 10 papers. Can you see? From 10 papers, it has already created a kind of a rough review of literature. I'm not saying that you have to use this review of literature, okay? It will come in plagiarism and all sorts of things, but it will give you a structure. It will make your life very, very easy. And these 10 papers you have still not read, but automatically it is giving you 10 latest papers. You see, most of these papers are 2019, 23, 24, and so on. Now there are many features. You can save it to your notebook. You can save it to your library. You can find related topics. The best feature of this is all these 10 papers are here. Okay. These 10 papers are already here. Now, obviously you don't want to copy what it has written, but it will give you what is the insight of each paper. You don't have to read through the whole paper now. It will give you what are the main insights. Okay. What is the conclusion? You will get that. Okay. So from this FDI in India, analyzing financial flows and economic impacts. It is written in Indian Scientific Journal of Research in Engineering and Management. It is a recent paper. You can request the PDF of that paper also. You can cite this paper. What are the chief insights from this paper you can get? Okay. So all that I told you that you need to do this will automatically do it for you. Okay. Besides that, you can also add new columns to this. You can get a summarized abstract. You can get the results. You can get a summarized introduction. You can get which methods are used. You can get a literature survey. You can get the limitations, contributions, objectives. And there are 10 more other things: findings, research gap, future research, dependent variables, independent variables. Anything that you ask from this paper, if it is available in the paper, you can find it. You can add a column. So I'll remove the conclusions column. I will say, give me the results column. So can you see the results have come? What are the main results of this paper? If I want to remove the results column and I say, give me the chief findings, okay, I will get a findings column. What are the main findings of this? So I found that the study is a positive connection between GDP and MPI. Okay. Now, once I've got this, now obviously I want to take these papers, whichever articles are there, I want to take them into my Zotero. If I click on export, I can create first of all, I can create an Excel file. So all these columns you can directly take to Excel. Okay. So I can create an Excel file. It will say preparing your Excel file. They will mail it to you when your file is ready, because you have to create an account in this, right? In this also you need to create an account. Okay, in your download section, it will save it. If I'll say, okay, save. Go to downloads. So it has saved everything. Okay. The key highlights of the study. See the findings. You just then need to make this column. And then of course you know what to do with Word, right? So you say wrap text, so this will appear. Okay, all your things, your key insights, everything will come. So your annotated bibliography that I was telling you to make, this tool will help you to make it. Now one more. Obviously you want the citations also, right? You want your bibliography and reference file also. So what will you do? Again, click on export, click on BibTeX file. So it will say preparing your BibTeX file. So it will create this file. Now what you have to do is save to Zotero. Okay, you click right. Once this file is created, you right click, you say save to Zotero, and you can say save to Zotero, DOI, or save to Zotero with snapshot, whatever you want to do. So it is saving to Zotero. Once this is done, open Zotero. Again, with save to Zotero. Why is it doing this? Save to Zotero as DOI is what you should take. Okay, and then you say select all. You say okay, and it will basically save all of this to your Zotero. Save to Zotero with DOI. Okay, so once this is done, you open Zotero and you will see all these files are saved. Whatever is extra, you just remove it. This is how you remove files. Right click, remove from collection. Okay, so this is how your size space is also connected to Zotero. Okay, if you are using, now there is another, there are other features, there are other AI tools also which are available for researchers. When you want to make something short or you want to make something long, you want to paraphrase, things like that. I will show you one more tool which is called Quillbot. Again, it's a paid tool, but once you download and make your account and you make the interface with your Word and you launch Quillbot, it will help you do several things with your research. Okay, so of course, grammar checker is there, but besides grammar checker, you have something called the paraphrase. So when you click on paraphrase, it will tell you what do you want to do. So I can select a text and I can say either make it short, make it fluent, make it natural, make it formal, make it academic, make it simple, make it creative, expand. Or I can also say that make it professional, make a slogan, make it like a TikTok influencer, whatever you want to say. However, make it academic would be the choice, or sometimes we want to paraphrase, sometimes we want to make it shorter, etc. We can use Quillbot. So Quillbot is another tool. And one other tool that is there is called PaperPal. Okay, so PaperPal can help you edit, rewrite, translate. It can also research and cite. It can do a plagiarism check. It can do a journal submission check. It can do a lot of things for you. But again, I'm telling you that it is a paid software. So Zotero is totally free. Size space. Some features are free. Some features are paid. In PaperPal also, a lot of you get if you create the account every day, you get 5 free uses. Okay. So let us say I'm clicking on rewrite. I'm showing you it's a very interesting thing. It not only rewrite, it will write for you also. You just have to create an account. So it can also paraphrase, it can make it more academic, it can improve fluency, it can trim, it can change tone, it can give you synonyms, it can also write for you. So suppose I tell it that write, so if I say, I click on this, write a paragraph on Impact of FDI on GDP in India. So it will write. It will also cite. Can you see? I mean, only if I mean everything that it says is not correct. Okay, so this it is only using my sources, whatever citations I have used. But suppose I have not used anything on this page, it will not put any citation. Retry. Okay, because my daily limit is reached today. Otherwise, it will also help you write. Then if you tell it, keep on writing more, add citations to it. It will do all those. It will also help you brainstorm a topic. Okay. So it is very interesting. There are many AI tools now which you can use. However, what I want to tell you is use these tools very discreetly. Use them very discerningly, I would say, because AI can write a lot of things for you, but it is not necessary that whatever it is writing is true. So use AI to make your paper better rather than letting AI write your paper on your thesis. You can take help, but always read properly what the AI has written and improvise it and change the way in which it is writing. Because just like there are so many beautiful AI tools, there are so many beautiful AI tools. So, minute you put something which is totally written by AI, and you will be taken in for plagiarism. So, or AI detection. So you want to avoid both, but at the same time, you want to make your paper better. So I always give this suggestion to people that use AI for faster work, for quicker work, for making your paper better than what it could have been without the use of AI. Okay, so try, and literature review is something which will give the structure to your paper, which is like a backbone for your paper. And so if we have support in writing the literature review, if say earlier what if I had to write a paper without these AI tools, maybe I could do review of literature of 15 papers in one research. Today I can do a review of 50 papers. Maybe earlier I could review 100 papers and write one good paper. Today I can review, maybe earlier I could review 15, 20 papers to write a good paper. Today I can review more than 100 papers to write a good paper. So the point is that AI can give you better depth to the study. Rather than using it as a shortcut, use it to give more depth to your study. Right? Now, if there are any questions, we can take them, and I'll just stop sharing the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a wonderful hands-on session. We have learned so many new things, I must say. And yes, definitely. Any questions, participants? You have 5 to 7 minutes. You can ask to Dr. Janki. Any questions? You can please click raise hand. I will unmute you. Any questions? Because we have really learned a lot of new things. Even I got to know, new things regarding referencing. Yes, Dr. Venkata, please unmute. Yes.
Hello. Good
Yeah,
evening, sir. And
Yes.
madam, my doubt is, can we take
Yeah.
references related to ABDC A star, ABDC A Scopus Q1 from Jotaro?
I mean, Zotero by itself will not help you to discern between whether this is an ABDC indexed publication or not. That you will have to select. So then in that case, you will have to go to the you will have to find the ABDC publication and go to the state source. But if you want that kind of a, then you should use Mendeley.
So in Mendeley, we can extract ABDC A star, ABDC A
I'm
corpus
not
Q.
sure whether you can extract it to that extent, but let me show you what Mendeley can do. So when you go to Mendeley, it will, if you just go to, wait, see, I'll just share my screen. So now see, once you have Mendeley like this, and you search for your article, let us say impact of FDI on economic growth. Okay, and I say search. So now Mendeley will tell me that, you know, which year the articles, it will give this article which are most relevant or most recent or most cited. Also give year wise me get these when journals are from book section. Then it will give me these data sources, that is SSR and electronic journals or environment science and pollution research, so and so. But it will not, I don't think there are any, it can give me author classification, but I don't think any tool can give you that classification, that whether it is ABDC or. But the thing about Mendeley is all the papers are there on Elsevier. It only finds papers which are there on Elsevier database.
Okay.
So that can be done.
Only elsewhere papers, madam.
Yeah, Elsevier papers.
No other
Which are there on. It can, I mean, if you independently store a paper in Mendeley, you take a paper from Google Scholar and store it on Mendeley, it will help you cite that paper. There is no problem in citation from another source. But if you are only trying to find papers from a particular source, that is ABDC or A-star journals, or that, I don't think any tool, I'm not aware of it, if it is even available.
Thank you, madam, for the small doubt.
Thank you.
While taking keywords, can we need to take keywords only from hello?
Yes.
Okay, we need to take keywords only from abstract, or we can take keywords from total paper.
You can take keywords from the whole paper. See, you have to select your keywords based on what you want to study.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Shantanu, please unmute. Yes.
Sir, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, please, you can ask.
Ma'am, very nice session. Thank you very much. Myself is Colonel Shantanu. I'm speaking from the border areas. There are two specific questions, ma'am, which I was trying to ask you. However, I have jotted down. My first question is, ma'am, how do we justify, ma'am, in the entire paper, if I innovate something new, discover something new, whereupon there are no citations available, there are no papers available in the past, in last 1.5 year, or maybe recently? This is my first question. Please answer, ma'am.
So, say there are no papers, but how did you come to that idea? Did you read something about it from some source? Did you have interviews with experts?
Found a gap, ma'am. I found a gap between two to 10 papers, and that new idea has germinated in my mind.
That's fine. So then you have the reference of those 2 to 10 papers, which you
so
can
I need
cite.
to mention. I need to mention those 2-3 papers from where I got the idea, new idea.
Yes. Yes,
which is
exactly.
practicable, which is practicably implementable, workable idea. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, got it, ma'am.
Correct.
And one
Yeah.
more very simple question, but I don't understand. On my laptop, which all important AI tools, oblique softwares I should be keeping bare minimum, whereupon I can publish a very successful paper. Because going into Zotero and all those things, it sometimes complicate the things. It
Actually,
add-ons
sir,
to.
Zotero is a very simple tool. If you can download it, or if someone can help you download it and you try your hands on to it, it's very simple. In fact, it is one of the simplest tools.
Okay, I'll try my luck.
Yeah.
And
So you start with Zotero and then maybe, uh, keep on talking to people, or ask what are you using, what are you. But I have shown you 2, 3 very simple tools
correct,
which you have to give it very simple prompts. There are many
correct,
other tools, like there is Julius, there is Claude, will help you do data analysis. There are many tools, but I don't think that all of them are required by everyone.
correct.
So
And
yeah.
yeah, and one more thing, if we justify something new, is it
Hmm.
necessary we justify in literature review what you covered today? Or maybe I can justify in a separate section in within the paper.
So see, the whole structure of the paper is made in a certain way so that you have to justify that in a given section only. So let us say your research question has to be justified through the review of literature.
Okay, correct. So it should
Right?
be available and it should be justifiable within the paper so that
Yeah.
the editors don't have problem and even the readers accept it. Is that
Yes.
what you want to say, ma'am?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. I was really fruitful session to attend your particular thing. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
ma'am. Good day, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shantanu. Thank you so much. Yeah, Alia Sultana, please unmute.
Sir, I would like to.
Can you please open your, please, participant, I request you to please switch on your video while asking the questions.
One minute, sir.
Please
Alina,
ask.
जरा आओ बेटे.
Yeah, please ask.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please ask your question.
Yeah, my question is like, ma'am has suggested, ma'am, as you have suggested these AI tools,
Hmm.
so is there any link also where we can practice for this on YouTube or something?
No, there is no need to, like, what do you want to practice? Zotero?
Like suppose Zotero or
Yeah, so
Mendeley.
just download it and start storing your things. Let us say if you're working on a thesis or anything, any topic that comes to your mind, make a folder and start saving your documents in Zotero, and then start writing. Let us say you just want to write one paragraph
Okay.
using 3 sources or 3 papers.
Okay.
You try to use it. That is, I mean, if you can delete folders also, if you feel, if it is just a practice folder. Later on, you can delete it also after you've learned it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can share the Zotero presentation with the organization team so that it can be shared. You can refer to it and try to do a hands-on later on.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Miss Zita. Zita you are from Nepal. Please unmute.
Yes, sir. No, I'm from Manipur.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to ask a very basic question, but which I don't know. That
Hmm.
is that, suppose I use a review article for a literature review, but and then from that article, I want to use like certain sentences or paragraph that I want to use, but that particular sentence or paragraph is from certain citations of other writer. So like in that case, what I want to ask is like, whom do we put in that referencing or citation in my works? That is what I have doubt.
Well, so because you are using which is your source paper, you have to put that.
Okay, thank
So
you,
if
ma'am.
what is your, so what are you writing here? You can use either. See, suppose you are just saying that you are using the concept which is also borrowed from another paper, and you want
Yes.
to write that, you can cite the previous author. That's okay. But
Okay,
let
ma'am.
us say, when will you cite this paper? When you are taking the findings of this paper into your review, you will cite this. So that is
Okay.
why I said that when you are looking at, let us say you found a paper which is very relevant to your study, you should
Yes,
look at
ma'am.
those references also and go back to the papers which they have referred to also.
Okay,
And
ma'am.
then whatever you use from those papers, you cite those papers.
Thank you, ma'am. And then, ma'am, one more question. Like,
Yeah.
I have doubt again. Is that for abstract? We usually say that like 150 or 300 word is appropriate. Like, is there any word limit for that we have
No,
to
so
use in?
different journals will tell you different words. So
Okay.
recently I sent my paper to a journal. They said 100 to 150 words.
Yeah, but
Before
what I
that,
want to ask is like, ma'am, how many words is considered like appropriate for writing a review and all?
writing an abstract.
Review, like for abstract we usually say it, like you say, ma'am, it depends on different journals, but what I want to ask is like, is there
Okay.
appropriate kind of words for review?
No, there is no such benchmark for review of literature.
Okay.
But like I told you that in a research paper, typically a review could be 1 page, starting with introduction, 1 or 2 pages.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Dr. Neetu Singh, you can ask. Please unmute, Dr. Neetu. Yes, please ask.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am
Yes,
I audible, ma'am?
yes,
Yes.
please ask.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Ma'am, my question to you is that, ma'am, how to get access for logged papers?
How to get?
Access for logged paper, the paper which are logged, which are मतलब जो बंद होते हैं ना कि उनको
No,
कैसे
you
पढ़े अपन?
either your university library has to buy them, or sometimes you know what you can do is get the email address of the author and
Okay, ma'am.
email them that I would like to read this paper, but it is a paid paper. If you don't mind, can you send me a version? They will send you. Mostly they will.
कोई
Yeah.
और अल्टरनेटिव नहीं है मतलब इसके अलावा, जैसे अपन साई हब पे जाके जैसे पेपर पढ़ सकते हैं, उसके अलावा ऐसा और भी कुछ होता है मतलब?
Internet pe you can try. You can go to the author's website. Sometimes if they are very good professors, they will have their own web page on which all their papers are stored. So many a times I have done that. That if I want to refer to Jagdish Bhagwati's paper, I'll go to his web page. Even though most of his papers would be paid, I will get it free from his website. So that is possible.
Okay, thank you.
There are other sources like there is Research Rabbit, there's SciHub. ये सारे sources पे काफी सारे papers मिल जाते हैं जो paid भी होते हैं कई बार. But I mean, if it is totally locked, then these are the ways to informally go about.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Aarti Gupta, please unmute. Aarti Gupta, please switch on your video also. You can. Please unmute. Aarti Gupta. You want to ask?
Yes. Yes. Video or
Yes. Yeah, please.
First of all, thank you, Janki ji, for today's fruitful session. And I just would like to know that for the bibliometric analysis, from the size space, it is in fact a good website. I have seen for disability inclusion, lots of reference material has come out. So because I have to create a login for this, and after that, can a matrix kind of for bibliographic matrix comparative review, a table can be exported along with the abstract?
Yes, I showed you in that how
Yes.
the whole Excel
Mhm.
sheet can be exported. But to
And
export anything, you will need a paid version.
and okay, for exporting, paid version is essential.
Yes, yes.
And it
Otherwise,
is
then you
also,
can take a snapshot and save it as a
yes, yes,
screenshot.
print screen can be taken.
Yeah.
And it is more like our programming, I think. In our programming, we give some syntax and commands, and in size space, just simply we have to put in the search engine some keywords, and then it comes out. Only thing, it's good in fact, but it's paid, so that we have to see for exporting.
I don't think it can be compared to R because R is a different, it is used for statistical analysis
Yes,
and
yes.
other things. So R will not help you to do literature review or any such.
Yeah, that will help in graphical presentation, interpretation, and all that. But
But that is, if you have already put in data in R, it will help you. It is not going to fetch any data from anywhere. So R is a
but for
different thing altogether.
okay, but for size space, just then print screen can be taken. Meanwhile, when we are using it free.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. iPhone, who is this iPhone? Please unmute. What is your name? You have logged in through iPhone. Can you tell me your name?
Sir, this is Shweta Singh.
Shweta Singh. Okay, can you switch on your video, ma'am?
Sir,
I will change the name, no problem. You can ask question to Dr. Janki. This is the last question, I think. Please ask. Yes, please ask.
Shweta ma'am.
Shweta ma'am, please ask. No need to, don't worry. You can ask. Don't need to open the video if it is not coming. You can ask your question. I think, ma'am, there is some network issue from
Yeah.
our side. So thank you.
So she can message
She can,
me
yeah.
the question.
Just send me the question. I will send to Dr. Janki and I will answer you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Janki, the chat box itself says a lot. Everyone message, thank you. It was a wonderful session. And really, it was a very informative session. So many things we have learned. Thank you so much, ma'am. So,
Thank you. Thanks. It's my turn to say thank you to Inspira Research Association for the invitation. I also thank Khandesh College Education Society and Dr. P.S. Chauhan.
Yes, sir.
And Aarti ma'am from for the lovely introduction and the conversation. Also Shri Tagore College from Kuchaman City. Thank you all for inviting me for this interaction, for this lovely audience. And
it is our pleasure.
Look forward to.
We are, thank you so much from bottom of my heart, ma'am. And before I invite Dr. Aarti Chopra for the formal vote of thanks, I request everyone to please switch on your video so that we can take some screenshots for the social media. Yeah. So, Aarti ma'am, I would like to invite Dr. Aarti Chopra, Joint Secretary, Inspira Research Association, for the formal vote of thanks. Dr. Aarti.
Thank you so much. A very good evening once again to all of you. It is my honor and my privilege to deliver vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing committee for this enlightening session today. We are immensely grateful to Dr. Janki Mistry for her insightful and engaging session on literature review and references techniques, traditional and AI-assisted approaches. Ma'am, your lucid explanation, your practical insights, and your perspective on blending conventional academic rigor with modern AI tools have added immense knowledge and immense value to the understanding of contemporary research practices to all of us. You have not only depended told us about the knowledge about conducting an effective literature review, but also demonstrated the responsible and efficient use of AI tools for reference management and academic writing. Your examples, your suggestions, and your cautions have actually equipped all of us with the tools to enhance both our credibility and efficiency for the scholarly work. Thank you once again generously, ma'am, for sharing your time, your expertise, and your experience with us. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants for their active involvement. They were all active during the session. They were writing so many questions, and ma'am, the chat box is full of compliments for you. That shows that your session has enlightened them and has been of immense value for all the participants who have joined us from across the nation. Thank you so much once again to the organizers, Inspira Research Association, Khandesh College of Engineering and Management, and Sri Tagore College, Kochaman City, for this collaborative academic endeavor. Thank you so much once again, all of you. And Janki ma'am, special thanks to you for accepting our invitation and enlightening us.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Ma'am,
Ravi sir,
we would
for
love
constantly
to
being in touch.
we would love to invite you in our upcoming events also.
Sure.
So thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am,
Thank
do
you.
try to come in person also in our upcoming
Of course,
events.
of course, we will
Sure,
invite.
sure. Do let me know. We'll plan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
all the participants.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will share all the recorded videos and the presentations at the end of the after the end of this FDP, because we have a assignment quiz assignment test also on 1st June. So try to connect daily on Zoom. Don't try to depend on the videos. We will surely share at the but at the end of the FDP. So thank you so much. Good night. We will meet tomorrow at the same time on the topic quantitative and qualitative data analysis, tools, techniques, and emerging applications by Professor Manvinder Singh Pahwa. Thank you so much. Good night. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Chauhan sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Aarti ma'am.